Um, Hello guys. As you've seen the title, we'll be doing Macbeth Scene 2, Act 2. And honestly, that's one of my favorite scenes in all of Macbeth. Yeah, let's just get started. Scene 2, Macbeth's Castle. Enter Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth, that is which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark, peace! It was the owl that shrieked, the fatal bellman. Okay, that's quite a lot. Let's start breaking it down line by line. So for the first line, Macbeth saying what has made them drunk. Them refers to the guards. What has made them drunk has made me bold. So I guess when they became drunk, she became stronger, um, or like she took over. What has quenched them has given me fire. Fire here means courage. She had like even more courage when they were quenched. Hark, peace. It was the owl that shrieked the fatal bellman. Now, the owl here means it's like a bad omen, or is seen as a bad omen. Even back then in Macbeth's time, an owl was like a bad sign or a bad omen when you see an owl, just like a crow in some cultures. What hath quenched them had given me fire. We already discussed that. The fatal bellman. Now, a bellman is the guy who like rings a bell after an execution. And here, Macbeth has Shakespeare has brought him up to foreshadow the king's death. Here is the guy who rings the bell when an execution is carried on. Which gives the sternest, good night. He's about it. The doors are open. The surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their pockets. Now, good night here means death, and when she said he's about it, she's referring to Macbeth. Macbeth is about to do the job to kill the king. The doors are open, the opportunity is here. Surfeited grooms means, first of all, surfeited is overfed. Something like overfed. You get it. Grooms is guards. Do mock their charge with snores. They're basically sleeping. I have drugged their possets. Possets is drink. The death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die. But contend is struggle. Yeah, the rest is pretty clear. Moving on. Macbeth within. Who's there? What? Ho, Lady Macbeth. Alack, I'm afraid they have awakened. And 'tis not done, and it's not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark! I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss them. Uh, had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. Now the end of this line is kind of creepy, and we'll get to that later. Let's first explain it from the beginning. I'm afraid they have awakened. She's afraid, and notice that here, Lady Macbeth says, "I'm afraid," which kind of shows how anxious she is, especially that she's trying to get away with murdering the king. So yeah, I'm afraid they have awakened. She's afraid that the guards have awakened, and the job is not done. She was afraid that they would get caught in the attempt to kill the king. Like they would not even have the chance to kill the king. Especially because they prepared, or Lady Macbeth prepared this whole thing. She laid out the daggers. I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss them, and yeah, he could not miss them. He could not miss the daggers. I laid them right here, whatever. And also, just for context, let me just clarify Lady Macbeth's plan of killing the king. So basically, she would get the guards drunk, as we've seen earlier, and then they would kill the king in his sleep while he's also drunk. Pretty straightforward. And then they would blame it on the guards. Maybe they say they did it while sleepwalking, whatever. And what he was supposed to do is to leave those daggers next to the guards and maybe smear their faces with blood and their clothes with blood, whatever. Um, yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves now. Enter Macbeth with bloody daggers. Oh wait, I forgot that bit. Forgot that creepy bit. So, had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. When she said that, she was referring to the king, I believe, and what she's basically saying is that if he didn't resemble my father when he slept, I would have killed him, which was like kind of horrifying, especially for a woman to kill, because back then the act of killing was seen as something that women couldn't do. Women back then were seen as inferior to men, of course, and they were believed that they didn't have the emotional capacity to actually kill. So yeah, that's why they didn't like participate in battles and whatever. Um, where was I? Oh yeah, my husband. Yeah, so apparently Macbeth has done it. Has killed the king and entered the room. Macbeth. I have done the deed. Didst thou hear a noise? Lady Macbeth. I hear the owls scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak? And I believe that when she said this, it shows like how important, or the fact that the king is chosen to a point where even the crickets cry and the owls, like the crickets and owls would sense his death. And that's not the only time we'll see like something like this. Later in later lines we'll see similar things. And yeah, let's keep on going. Um, oh yeah, now there comes something that is not really seen in Shakespeare in general, where the lines of his actors are like very short. It's like one word short, and this is like very rarely done. Um, Macbeth, when Lady Macbeth, now Macbeth, as I descended, Lady Macbeth, hey, like yes. So what this means is, or what this symbolizes, I guess, what this shows is how nervous these or how anxious these actors are. They're like anxious. They could not speak properly. You get it. Moving on. Macbeth. Hark! Who lies I the second chamber? Lady Macbeth. Donalbain. Macbeth. This is a sorry sight, Lady Macbeth. A foolish thought to say a sorry sight. Um, okay, let's just explain a little bit. Hark, who lays in the second chamber. Now, just for context, back then, castles were not like they didn't have like a single hallway that would lead to all of the rooms. Instead, it was like a chamber or a room that would lead to another room, to another room, to another room. So if you want to go, let's say, to the bathroom, you'd have to go through it's two or three rooms, or maybe each room had its own bathroom. I'm not sure. But if you want to get like from one point to another, you'd have to go through rooms. And one of those rooms, to get to Duncan's room, Macbeth had to go through some rooms, and one of them was the room where the king's sons were sleeping, Donovan and Malcolm. Um, Now we can continue. All right, Macbeth. This is a sorry sight. Lady Macbeth. A foolish thought to say a sorry sight. Macbeth. There is one did laugh in his sleep, and cried, "Murder!" That they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and adjust them again to sleep. I feel like this is one of those signs that shows the importance of the king, because his one of his children literally screamed murder in their sleep, where they're sleeping basically. They could not sense the world around them unless they were some sort of I don't know, Spider-Man, something like that. But they're not, and they could not have possibly sensed that their father has just died. So yeah, this is one of those I guess supernatural signs that shows the importance of the king, or maybe just maybe that it might be something from the witches, maybe to make Macbeth feel even more anxious while doing his thing for whatever reason. I mean, their words did really affect him in bad ways. This might be just one of the ways they badly affect him. Uh, where was I? Yeah. There are two lodged together. There were two in the room. Yeah. Wait. Hold on. Lady Macbeth. There are two lodged together. There are two in the room. Macbeth. One cried, "God bless us," and Amen. The other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands. Listening their fear, I could not pray. I could not say Amen when they did say, "God bless us." So this is also another important bit, and this got Macbeth like very uh, scared or anxious, because especially in a religious community, not saying Amen would like be sort of outrageous. Like after each prayer, everybody's supposed to say Amen. But here he was not able to say it. He tried to say it, but it was like stuck in his throat. We'll see that earlier. We'll see that later. Um, and this did really worry Macbeth as a person who, I guess, says Amen. Which is kind of weird because instead of being worried about or being horrified about the murder, he was horrified about not saying Amen, which kind of also shows the irrationality in those characters, maybe in their morals. But he will regret what he did later in the scene. All right. Consider it not so deeply," said Lady Macbeth. So she's basically telling them to not worry about it. It's not that deep and whatever. Macbeth. But wherefore could I not pronounce Amen? I had the most need of blessing, and Amen stuck in my throat. So how come I not say Amen when I really needed the blessing? Pretty straightforward. Lady Macbeth. These deeds must not be thought. These deeds must not be thought after these ways. So it will make us mad. So she's basically saying that if you focus on the little things, on these little things, you'll be mad or you'll lose your mind. Methought I heard a voice cry, "Sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep." The innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the ravelled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life, sore labour's bath, balm of hurt minds, great nature's second course, chief nurturer in life's feast. So let's explain this on like two sequences. So at the beginning, he said he hears the voice, which is either another supernatural sign, or which is like more logical. It was just like the dagger he had imagined in Act One. It was all in his mind. He was hallucinating. Um, Now to the second part, the innocent sleep, where he started describing sleep. Um, Now, he's saying what he's emphasizing here is that he used sleep, the innocent act of sleeping, where a person would like rest his muscles and relax or whatever, to kill a king. So yeah, so this also shows how anxious the Macbeth was after the murder, to a point where even Lady Macbeth herself cut him off while he was listening. These things and told him like, "What do you mean?" No, literally, she said, "What do you mean?" Macbeth, still, it cried, "Sleep no more." To all, oh yeah, still it cried, "Sleep no more." To all the house, Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor, shall not. Still it cried, "Sleep no more." To all the house, Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more. So here, the voice apparently used all of his three titles, and I feel like there was like an emphasis on Cawdor, since Cawdor was a traitor, as you've seen in Act 1, Thane of Cawdor was a traitor. Then Macbeth later received that title. So the voice is, I guess, comparing Thane of Glamis, which is Macbeth, to the previous Thane of Cawdor, who was a traitor and betrayed the king. Um, and apparently, this is like his one of the consequences he's facing. He will not be able to sleep, or at least he's hearing a voice that's telling him he can sleep no more. Lady Macbeth, who was it that thus cried, "Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain sickly of things? Go get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand." So she's trying to calm him down and tell him, she even told him to wash this filthy blood, with some water. Um, why do you bring these? Oh yeah, and then that's another important bit. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood. Macbeth. I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think what I've done. Look on it again. I dare not. So he is feeling regret. He brought the daggers with him, the bloody daggers, which is not the best thing to do if you want to get away with this. He was supposed to leave them next to the guards or with the guards in order to frame them. However, he brought them with him, which is not the smartest move, I guess. And later Macbeth told him to like put them back whenever. and smear the grooms with this blood. However, he refused, and this obviously shows his intense regrets after realizing what he has done. Lady Macbeth, infirm of purpose, give me the daggers, the sleeping and the dead, but are but as pictures. It's the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. So she's comparing him to she's comparing him to maybe like a child who's afraid of a painted devil, or so yeah, she's telling him that you're afraid of little things and shame on you and whatever. Where in fact he was like a great warrior and whatever. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt. If he do bleed, if the king is still bleeding, I will take his blood and smear it like on the faces of his grooms, um, so they would feel the guilt. She exists with the daggers. Knock within. Macbeth. Whence is that knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? Um, so he's questioning this knocking. Where is this knocking coming from? How is it with me when I couldn't like tolerate every noise? Because he's going through intense regret. Um, what hands are here? Huh? They pluck out mine eyes. They pluck out mine eyes. They pluck out mine eyes. I feel like this means that he couldn't even look at his hands because, well, they're full of the king's blood. Um, will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No. This my hand will rather the multitudinous seas in Cardinine. So here, uh, we you'd see like some sort of an overstatement um, or exaggeration. Macbeth is saying that all of the words oceans, the multitudinous means like a lot or immense, would not wash his hands clean from this blood. Instead, they will incardinate. Incardinine. Incardinine is to make something bloody, or to turn something into blood. So yeah, they would his hands would turn all of the oceans into blood instead of the oceans washing his hands clean, making the green one red. Enter Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth, my hands are of your color red. But I shame to wear a heart so white. Knock. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears. Yeah, now this is a very important bit. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy or your firmness in your mind, the firmness of your mind, hath left you unattended. Um, so she's saying that little water, just a little bit of water, could clean this blood so easily. And remember, she has obviously more blood on her hand because she smeared it all across, all over the guards, and yeah, so she's got even more blood on her hand. However, um, she's not feeling as guilty as Macbeth. And in fact, she's like saying that it's so easy to wash it. Just put in some water and whatever. Where Macbeth is saying that all of the multitudinous oceans would not wash my hand. In fact, my hand will make them even bloodier. Um, Hark! Oh wait, hath left you unattended. Knock. Hark! More knocking. Get on your night goon. Get on your night goon. Lest occasion call us, and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts. So apparently there's even more knocking, and she's telling Macbeth to go to your night room or room, I think, and pretend like you know nothing. Pretend to be a watcher, and also don't be like so lost in your thoughts as you did earlier, because you'll just become insane. You'll get yourself mad. Um, Yeah. Then Macbeth starts saying, "To know my deed we're best not know myself. Knock. Wake Duncan with the knocking. I would doubt it. They exit." So this is also another important line. In fact, it's one of my favorite lines in the whole scene. So after he killed Duncan, he he starts wishing he never did that, and in fact, he wishes that he could like knock on his door and he would just wake up and everything would go back to being normal. However, he knows that this is not gonna happen and could never actually happen. And yeah, that was pretty much it for scene two. I hope you had fun and understood. Yeah, peace.